Well, folks, Antonio T. Smith Jr. is doing it again.
He's done it again.
Yes, he has. Giving away so much knowledge just to help you succeed. Walk out of the middle class. Become a multimillionaire. He is giving away his book just for you.
The name of that book? The Richest Man in the Trash Can. You want to make sure you get this book. Here's why.
If you are someone who is tired, frustrated, irritated of the day-to-day schedule of waking up, going to work, going back home, going to sleep just to do it all over again, not being able to spend time with your family, you just got married, you just had kids, or you take care of your parents and you're not there to do it, this is the book for you.
And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This book is free 99. Yes, you heard me. Free 99. Okay? All yours for free.
Yes, free 99. All you have to do is just pay shipping and handling.
That's it.
$9.95 just to get your free book. This book is a life changer. I'm trying to tell you guys, everything in this book is what Antonio taught myself and Grace that enabled us to retire. Yes, we are retired and we haven't even hit our 40s yet.
Woo!
I'm just saying.
I got a few months to go. Don't worry about it.
Shh. Don't nobody need to know that, girl. You don't look it.
That's it.
Go get it. Go get it and walk yourself out of the middle class into the life you deserve. Walk yourself into abundance. Abundance is freedom, and this book is your journey out.
You can plant better.
You can dominate.
All right, good to see everybody. If this is your first time with us, then this is our daily meetings. This is real meetings that happen in this company. This is how I run this company, well, with the participation of my co-laborers in abundance is what we're going to call you. Co-laborers in abundance. I just made that up.
You sounded like a preacher. You sounded like a preacher right there.
I did.
Co-laborers.
Yes. Co-laborers in abundance. I got to put my preacher voice on. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. God, not just playing.
That's it right there. That's it.
This is our meeting. We get this done. And your only mission here is to learn and take what works here, what works for you, and take it back to your company. It's the only reason I open up to the public, so you can steal. So don't feel bad for stealing. That is your reasonable service to steal from here. Today's morning agenda, I want to so what's our intention for this meeting today is focus on brand and new products. All right, that's our intentions for this meeting today. How does that look? What does that look like? Remember, in the last meeting, I told you if you haven't figured it out, I kind of hinted at it 3 weeks ago, but if you haven't figured it out, I am focused more on brand than sales. During an economic disruption such as this, as of this morning, in the number one economy in the world, 30 million people are now unemployed. Another 3.8 million filed for unemployment today. 30 million, well, not today, this past week, 30 million people now. That's 30 million to give you an assessment of the Great Depression. Only 13.8 million people lost their jobs. Now, there's some stuff that we can weigh against. The dollar weighed more and the population was different, but the population amount of people were different, so we can go back and forth about that. But nevertheless, 30 million people putting a strain on the government economically will cause a recession without a doubt. That's just the way it works. These 30 million people are now unlendable. They're now unlendable for sure. That being said, we want to focus on brand and new products. Now, Deanna, let's start with you first. Actually, before we do that, let's make sure we do this here first. May 2nd. May 2nd, I will be doing a conference with a bunch of millionaires and billionaires, because that's just what we do. Woo. This conference link is right here in the chat. It's right there in the chat, right there. You can feel free to click that in the chat and get your free ticket right now. It's Saturday from 10 to maybe 4, 10 a.m. to 4 or 5, something like that. Go ahead and click that It's yours to have. If you already done it, good job. Click it even if you can't make it, because in the last 2 summits, they gave away the replay to all the participants who were signed up. So at least get the permanent replay for life, right? Bradley, Tim Story, Matthew Knowles, myself. I'm going on at 3 to 3:30. They want me anchoring it home like the first one. So from 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to 3:30. You convert that time into your time, and that's when you'll be seeing me go on 3 to 3:30. Of course, I will be in attendance for the entire summit because I like to learn and I like to hear other people do their thing. I like when people are in their gift and I can stand in the overflow. I like that kind of stuff. So I'm always trying to get the overflow from geniuses, because all I need is one crumb. Tell me somebody. Just one crumb. I just need one crumb from the master's table.
From the masters, don't you do it.
That's it. I just need one crumb. I just need one crumb to change my whole life around. So I'm always in that mood, in that zone there. Always in that mood and that zone there. So it's just something that is pretty cool that all of us can wrench it off for. Fair enough? We get to wrench around and wrench it off on some goodness. Now, Deanna, second thing on the agenda now. You got, how many names got submitted to you yesterday?
I had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 names.
All right, so I decided to be semi-generous. What you're going to do, Deanna, write this down. You're going to make sure that they are willing to cut their cameras on. If not, they're automatically out.
Gotcha.
Okay? It's automatically out. It's a different kind of thing. Automatically out. I can't just catch the replay or something in a long time from now. They're automatically out. I was minding my own business, and my source said, just take all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and just take all of them. All right? I'm going to go ahead and take all of them. So whoever, everybody's clapping. Whatever name is down there, they all qualify. I'm not going to do the 3 I was going to do. As long as they are willing to cut the camera on. Now, you don't have to do it in this meeting. I'm just talking about in that program. If you wasn't with us last meeting, or if you listen to audio and this is the first time you've been joining this meeting, we're going to do a one business away challenge. It's a new product that's going to come out, and this product is designed in 90 days to take your business from left to right. Take your business from wherever you are and build you $1 million business systems and more, a whole bunch more. By the end of that 90th day, you should be so self-autonomous, so self-sufficient that your business is operating in profit. Carol is giving me the Tiger Woods. Yes, got a birdie. Yes. So that should be the goal. It is extremely detailed. I've been working on it. I brought it first up 6 months ago. I wasn't working on it 6 months. I just brought it up. It was a twinkle in my father's eye is what it was 6 months ago, over a cigar and a chocolate beer, to be honest with you. 6 months ago, I brought that up. And then here recently is something that I want to do. Now, the good thing is, if you're not part of that 11, worry not. More than likely, there is a 99.9% chance. I always reserve the right to change my mind. There's a 99.9% chance I am going to put this entire program in the senior level, which is $59.99 a month. If you already have access to the senior level, you will get it at no charge. Yes, that's a big deal, because I could do. Deanna, tell them what it costs to coach with me, please.
Excuse me. It's up to $150 No, up to
You ain't gotta do
130,000.
that. You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. It's way past that. It's way past that. When about 3 years ago, I just copy and paste. 3 years ago, that was my price right there in chat. That was my price 3 years ago. As soon as I hit Forbes twice, Jerome, I raised the hell out that price. Please know that. Please know that, Steve.
You're at 235,000 now.
All right, there you go. This is what's going to happen. You're going to get that fantastically. So everyone's going to benefit. Now, there's a lesson to be caught here. 6 months ago, I started working on the idea, boom. But watch, Grace, you don't even know it. But here we go. You ready? You gotta unmute your mic, Grace, because I want to hear your sigh or your reaction or whatever that may be. Let me just repeat a few things for clarity first. The intention of this meeting is to focus on brand and products. What's important is the OBA challenge is what we're now calling it, One Business Away. What is the One Business Away challenge? I am just absolutely convinced that Jerome, Simone, Lisa, Cameron is one business away from leaving the middle class. Just one business. Just that one business will shift you from where you are, past credit card debt, past housing debt, all the way into the top 1% of the world. According to CNNBC, we only need $450,000 to be in the top 1%. And I'm pretty sure everyone here doesn't mind $450,000. Even if you make more than that, you still ain't returning to the bank $450,000. Yeah, I don't want this. Get this. I don't burn this $450,000. Right? I don't think anyone. Okay, Lisa says thank you. Law said thank you. I'll cash it. I understand. I don't think any one of us would just take $450,000 and throw it in the trash can. Right? You can send me a 17-cent check. After my first offense happens, I'm still cashing that check. I wish I had somebody. It's still mine. You understand? That's mine. That's my money. So that's what matters, the One Business Away challenge. Well, excuse me, that's what's important. What matters is getting this organized, getting it constructed, and getting it begun. Deanna, that means since you know these 11 people, now y'all gonna have to, let me set some rules here real quick. I hate rules, so I'm going to give you just 2 rules. If they won't respond and work with you on the calendar, then they're out, right? It just is what it is. And if they, not willing to cut the camera on when in that program, they're out. We just can't do anything about that, okay? Those are 2 things. Why am I stressing the camera on? Because it is going to be for replay for hundreds of thousands of people. It's a product, right, Jerome? It's a product. You can't mess up my product. You just can't. Just shave, dye your hair, slick it back, do whatever you got to do. Find your good background.
Can't mess it up for free, can I?
No. Yeah, no. Show miss that laugh around here. Ain't that bright the whole like Maya's smile? His laugh is Maya's smile. I like that. So just those 2 things. So when she contacts y'all today, work with her on your schedule. She just needs to know whatever she needs to know. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take not we. Let's not even put myself in these props because if I do it, I'm going to mess up terribly because this is not my gift at all. She is going to use her administrative skills and her. That's fine, Deanna. If you want to, that's fine. She is going to use her administrative skills and her empathy to find a solid time. Remember, all of you understood that it's going to be 90 days in a row. It is going to take us 90 days in a row. It will be brutal. You will be inconvenienced. But then you will be out the middle class. So it just depends on, what are you willing to give up for that? It's just, there is a reward after the end of the beatdown. That's for sure. All of us will be tired. There will be frustration, but that's okay. That's part of the process. It's not even frustration. That doesn't exist. It's just words that we use. It's going to be uncomfortable, but that's okay. It's just energy. It's energy that flows into our lives, and we're just supposed to let it pass. That's it. That's all. That's all. It's like a tree getting passed up in a car on the highway. You just let it pass. It's energy. Go ahead, Deanna.
I just want to let those who have volunteered to participate in the One Business Away challenge, make sure your why is strong enough to pull you through all 90 days. Just make sure your why is strong enough.
That's facts. That's right. Well, see, I tried to make that clear, so hopefully you're right. Those are my two things. Deanna, did you have more things that you want to put upon that? Any more things you wanted to say? Because, this is serious. And on top, if you've never worked with me, trust me, I'm a bulldog. Just trust that I'm really, 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 when I get locked in, I don't know what your fans are. Michael Jordan's Last Dance is airplaying right now as of this recording, so I have that same mentality. I promise you I do. Lost say stop being polite. Polite. He's right. And when I'm focused, I am focused. I hate I strongly dislike quitting, so I just don't do it. I would die. But if you, Will Smith said, if you get on the treadmill next to him while he's on a treadmill, he will die before he stops running on a treadmill before you. And I'm telling you, that is me. That is me. If you get on a treadmill next to me, if we doing sit-ups and you think you're going to out-sit up me, no, it's just not going to happen. I used to work Grace and Deanna and them out every morning. Grace, tell them how brutal these workouts were. They thought they was going, because I'm big. They didn't understand big is strong. They didn't get that. They didn't get that. Okay, they just thought. And tell them we run. How would I run, Grace?
Hey everybody, this is Antonio T. Smith Jr. here at the Secret to Success podcast, and we talk a lot about HR people from a lot of organizations over the years. And if there's one thing learning and development professionals say, it's this: getting their employees to use learning tools is a constant uphill battle. But then they mention LinkedIn Learning. It's different. Why? Because employees actually use LinkedIn Learning. L&D pros at 78 of the Fortune 100 companies choose LinkedIn Learning. They choose LinkedIn Learning because it teaches skills people can use right away. LinkedIn Learning knows what employees need based on insights only available from the LinkedIn community. It uses these insights to understand which skills are most in demand and publishes 60 new courses every week. Then LinkedIn Learning makes personalized recommendations to every employee. Visit LinkedInLearning.com/STS. That's LinkedInLearning.com/STS and sign up for your demo today.
Like he was running, like it was time for whatever he was going to do to perform.
You can't forget that I spent 100% of my entire military career being a military intelligence something. You can't forget that. You just can't forget that I still run 2 miles. As I get older, I'm somewhere around 15 minutes, 14 seconds now. It used to be 12 minutes. I used to do it in 11:57. In my early 20s, I ran 2 miles in 11 minutes and 50. I maxed out my PT test, Jerome, every time. Always 300 plus, 92 push-ups. Okay, so Jerome knows what I'm talking about if you Army. Every single time, and I ran under. So now that I'm a little older, a bit heavier, I'm at about a 15, 14 and 2 miles. I'm just that crazy. I jump out of perfectly working helicopters. It's just what I do. Okay, that's what I do. Deanna, any rules that you need to establish? Are we good?
Do the homework.
Let me just make a rule, one rule that sets them all. Listen to Deanna. All right, just work well with her setting this up, because Deanna, here's my challenge to you. I want it done in the next 24 hours. I want to know when it's happening, how it's happening, what day it's happening, because I'm almost done writing my curriculum. That being said, Grace, now it's time to come back to you. Let me read this comment first. That's good to know. I'm in the Army fit running. Now work on the rest. That's it, man. I'm telling you. Okay. Push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run. I don't know what they do now, but I'm pretty sure it's something similar. Sandals. Sandals O'Houlihan is Grace's real name. That's her. That's the name I've given her around here. I don't know why, Satish. Just pray for me. I don't know why at all. Sandals O'Houlihan. You're in this one business away. I didn't have you in it at first, but as I was sitting here thinking last night, I was thinking I'm going to need your expertise in phone calls. So your whole point, your whole purpose here is phone calls in this challenge. I'll explain here in a second, but I'm just teeing you up. Okay, I'm saying it now because I know your rejector popped out first. Now you get to talk your rejector away. All right, see that thumbs up? You got to know your people. You got to know your people. She immediately went, wait a minute. I get it. Now the rest, I'm going to make that rejector soften. Here's the plan, Deanna. We're going to have 4 segments of this. My goal is to have 4 segments of this One Business Away challenge. 4 segments. 1 of them in Zoom, 3 of them in 4K quality. Okay, 1 in Zoom, 3 in 4K quality. The first is obviously going to be 90 days of interaction coaching. You know what? I'll do you a favor. I'll copy and paste it so you can just.
Thank you.
All right. There it is in chat now. Boom. Here it is in chat. That's how it is in my notes. 90 days of interactive coaching, 90 days of Deanna, 90 days of Grace working with the phones, 90 days of me. Now there's a big lesson here, but I'm getting ready to teach you something. But I need to finish putting the bow on the present first. The 90 days of interactive coaching is what the 11 people or 13 people, whatever it was, have signed up for. Okay, that's y'all. I'm not sure how. Well, anyway, the 90 days of that. I know how to do it. I know how I want that done, but I won't say it right now. Gianna, what I want you to do, you've already been doing it. I want you to reverse engineer how you made me famous and paid. And that's the only thing you're going to teach. Okay? All that stuff. What is marketing? How to get paid? How to monetize your podcast. You already got it written down. You have your own Bible written down, right? You got a bunch of it. You got 2 different things written down. I've been making you, if y'all don't know, I've been making Deanna write down her whole knowledge base. She should just write a book at this point. But she has at least 600 pages written down of PR. And then she has, I don't even know how many pages written down about marketing and copywriting from sales funnels. I want you to use both of those, Deanna. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right. No, I'm serious. Both of them. You already got the structure down. Both of them, the PR and the marketing, use them. Now, how you use them, that's not up to me. That's up to you.
Got it.
I'm just telling you what source material to use.
Thank you.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do the same thing in that company that wants us to launch the America thing. The same thing. We won't say the company right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Okay, outstanding. There's an international company that wants me and Deanna to be the face of America And so we kind of decided, yes, we're going to do that. But anywho, you'll find out about that later. All right. Now, Grace, this is what I want you to do. It's real simple.
Okay.
I need you all phone calls. Because here's the deal. I was thinking about it last night. And I kept saying something is missing. And a big chunk of this is phone calls. It doesn't matter if it's cold or warm. It doesn't matter. Phil, before the recording, said, hey, it's the lady in Louisiana. We should jump on the phone with her, right? No matter how much we're doing business, we got to jump on the phone with people. It just is what it is. And now in a social distancing age, that's even, like we went all the way back to the 60s. There is no internet no more. It's just phone calls now, right? You understand? We just have internet phone calls and internet Zoom and all that stuff. So what you're going to do for me today is you're going to work on 90 days of phone calls. Don't worry about length. You understand?
Okay.
I want you to walk out. I just started what I need to teach. Of course, you're going to blend in cold calls, blend in marketing. Blend in warm calls. But then when someone signs up, how do we talk to them afterwards? There's a lot there, Grace. There's a lot there. Okay.
Okay.
Let me try to make it a tad bit more clear. Remember, I had you send. Remember, I had y'all send to me with the hiring, the training stuff that we're doing for the new hires. All right, that stuff is a good way to start. A great way to start. Okay, and that stuff is a great way to start.
Okay.
Essentially, this is what I'm saying. There's so many different ways that we use the phone when we have a business that we just take for granted because we just don't understand that we just on the phone so much. And I give you an example. A great example of that is, hey, a lead just hit my funnel. All right, what you do now? You gonna let them sit there? That's what most companies do. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, free advice or free whatever. If someone signs up for your product, paid or not, and they do not get a phone call, you will never get out the middle class. It will never happen. Because they're not a loyal customer until you call them. There's no retention there. You have to call them. At some point, you have to call them.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. See? You have to. And Grace, I need you to cover that. You feel what I'm saying? Like this, all that stuff. Don't worry about it. This is what you do. You just write down 90 days for me. I'm going to talk about this, and that. And then what I'm going to do is help you clean it up.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
No,
you do it first.
I needed you to tell me exactly what to do because when you say with the phones, I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to make some phone calls. That's where my brain was.
No,
you're talking about teaching what to do with the phone.
Oh,
okay, I got it now. I got it.
I put a teacher in her teaching gift.
Okay.
You understand? I just need you to cover everything now. I'm stressing. I'm slowing down with you, not because you don't get it. It's because, well, two reasons. One, you're really good on the phone, so it's kind of hard to be really good and really teach something. Right? That's why Michael Jordan is not a coach. It's hard to be Tiger Woods and then turn around and coach. You know, it's just one of those. You can Wayne Gretzky and then turn around and coach. Greats typically just do a lot of things naturally. You're one of them. Secondly, is we use the phone so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to document that, how it gets done. Okay? I'm using my best phone person to do that. And I believe, and in 90 days with me, that will be complete. That will be a complete, what I know I'm going to do, what I know Deanna's going to do, that's going to be complete. That is literally business, sales, marketing, and more. It's going to be complete. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, here's a good lesson here, y'all. I thought about this 6 months ago. Remember I said I was going to put the bow on the present, but I just need to build it. I built the present. Here's the bow. We start working on this maybe this week, early this week. You fortunate 13 are going to be extremely fortunate. That's why Carol was, extremely fortunate. But I want you to look out how strategic this is, because some of you go, I don't have a product. And it's simply, most of the time, it's because you're not willing to do the mundane to have that product. It's the boring stuff that gets that product done. You know what I'm saying? Let me think about this. The world is not going to see this product until that's 90 days that we got to teach out. So that's what's this? April? No, this is May now. So that's 5th month. 3 months away from May is the 8th month. That's October. At the minimum, it's October. That's number one. But then I said 90 days, Deanna. That's 8th month to 11th month. That's November. You see it? Then 90 days me. That's 11, 12. That's January. Then 90 days grace. That's March. In March 2021, people are going to say this very statement. It happens all the time. Oh, well, you have a team. And they're not going to process that I did this without a team first before I ever had a team. And then this is nearly 8 months in the making. That's how you build products. That should have been a great lesson for someone. That's how you build products. It's gonna come out like, oh, this is so easy. It's gonna look like 90 days worth of work, but it's not. Now I can shorten that because I can say, okay, Deanna, you record, Grace, you record. We just did this day. Now since we got the energy of this day, let's go ahead and record in 4K you two right now. And that'll decrease me in days. But then how often can we realistically do that in the middle of social distancing and extinction level plagueness going on, right? How often can that happen? You know what I'm saying? Liddell said that's good. I'm just trying to get you to see that a lot of the stuff that happens around here, we make it look like it just happened. We've been working on it for a long time. A very long time. Very long time. Okay? And when you work on something that long, the price typically goes up. And that's just facts. That's just called labor. You're going to pay me for my energy. If I got to make a handbag for Simone, and that handbag takes me 8 months to make, that is not a $9 handbag. Do you understand? First off, I made it with my hands, so the price automatically going up. Secondly, it don't exist nowhere else. Price going up. Then it took me 8 months. Oh no, you gotta pay me for parts and labor, like mechanics do. $22 part, $600 price. So I had to drop that transmission. You couldn't do it. I'm not gonna drop that transmission and let you pay me $25 for dropping that transmission. No, I need hazard pay around here. Did you get it? That's how detailed this is. Now, could I rush this? Yes, of course I could. Will I? Hell no. I would never do that. You don't put out crap product. Write that down, everybody. Don't put out crap product. Do not put out crap product. Don't ever do it. Don't do it. It is the fastest way to ruin your business. The market rewards excellence. Okay, Lisa. Estimate to go get. Okay, she says she's interested. The market rewards excellence. Go ahead, Phil.
You get better, but your product doesn't.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. There it is. All right.
Repeat
now,
that, Phil.
Yeah, repeat it, Phil.
Yeah. If you bring out your product too soon, you get better, but your product doesn't.
And now your reputation is ruined. Now you're dropping 2.0s and stuff. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with that, but, we're not rushing this. There's no reason that we're going to work hard. But it will be 90 days. The bulk of this part is 90 days. But look at what I've done. I added the audience participation, real people, real businesses. And a lot of that will be lecture style, just so you all know. It won't kind of flow like the business university, but it'd be more lecture style. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, the other side of that coin is I just went blank.
That happens to be all the time.
I got it.
Okay.
Being perfect is being right. Being your best is willing to be wrong. So that's the two ends of those sticks. And that's what you have to understand. You got to go out there and do it because that's how you get better for the next one. But you got to know when's the time to pull the trigger that your product's good enough to reveal it to the public. And that's why we've got a team of people here that are willing to help each other out and bounce ideas at each other to fine tune and improve our product. So when it's ready, it's more ready than if we didn't run it through this team of caring, loving people willing to give you good feedback.
Couldn't have said that better myself. Windows did not wait until Windows, whatever they got version right now, to release their product. They gave you like 96 first or whatever it was. I don't even remember no more at this point. Apple gave you iPhone 1. Apple wasn't even able to send multimedia messages, MMS, pictures through through his phone services until the iPhone 3, I think. I know it wasn't the 1. I know for sure. The iMessages didn't even come out to iPhone 4. Yeah. But this first iPhone, users were still buying it, but complaining how you had to go through email to get that picture. That's the truth. I know that's 2008. It's a long time ago, but that's the truth. Am I lying, Law? That's exactly what happened.
Nope,
That's
you're
it.
absolutely right.
Yeah. But they cleaned up, didn't they? Couldn't keep it upset. And it was only sold through AT&T. The whole world couldn't get it. It was if you was with AT&T. And they cleaned up. Apple is where it is because of the iPhone. Now, what Apple is doing, I learned a lot from Apple. I learned a lot from all companies, especially Apple. See, Apple has a future problem that it's trying to avoid. It's why Apple TV, it's why they came out with Apple TV. I get it. Because Apple is a $1 trillion company, but what is that? 80 to 85% of its sales come from one device. That is a major problem. That is a major, major problem. You know why? Because the smartphone is going to die pretty soon. The smartphone, as you know it, has been around since 2008. As of this recording, that is 12 years ago. It is a ticking time bomb. It's no way that technology can last that long.
That was actually one of my case studies when I was in college. And
wow.
They continuously keep on putting out products, and it's just like, okay, they just want to see what sticks so that they're in there before it actually ends.
That's right. That's right. This is what I think Apple's going to do next, and I know I would. I think Apple's going to go into two different places. The good thing is they're very cautious, so they're smart. Apple's going to go Apple is going to go into electric cars. I can see that. But self-driving electric cars, I can see that. But I think the best place Apple goes next is the new big social media, whatever that is. Why would I say that? Why would you say that, Antonio? I'm glad you asked. It's just one of those common sense things to me. Facebook. So what's the big three? Facebook, YouTube, which is owned by Google, and LinkedIn, which is owned by Microsoft. You see it? Facebook is its own big company now. Apple is nowhere in this market. Apple gets no advertising dollars whatsoever. You get it? I would say Apple would go to the next big social media, whatever that may be. It's going to buy it. And then you're going to have a social media run by Apple to make a big conglomerate of competition. Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Google, pretty much keeping everybody out of business. That's exactly what I would do. They already have everyone's information. Fair enough. I forgot about that fact. Yes, Apple not only has everyone's information, they have everyone's thumbprint and face. and face. They're the largest database. yeah, man. Yeah, they're the largest database of fingerprints in the world.
You may want to patent that because you may be on to something big because they probably not even thought of that.
You sure right. I probably need to. That's what I would do if I was there. They need to hire me. I'd blow Apple up even more. That's exactly what I would do. Exactly what I would do. I would absolutely. Like, Microsoft is not for to own no social media. I'm not. No. Get out of here. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get out of here, right? Now, you know, I had an Xbox and LinkedIn. You don't have to do both. Now I feel like y'all shining on me, and I got to do something about that. So anyway, I just said that because I want you all to be thinking about business as far out as I think about business. I typically 25 moves ahead of what most people are thinking. Nevertheless, please know that the ATS company, virtual reality communities, absolutely, the virtual reality is about 10 years ahead, but it's going to be, actually, social media is by the time historians write all this stuff down, social media is the precursor to virtual reality, because y'all don't have, I don't know if you know it, we say stuff like in real life now. Like in real life, like social media has become your new life. The mere fact that you can pretend to be whoever you want online, that's virtual reality we just not plugged into yet, but our minds are plugged in there. Our addictive habits are plugged in there. You know, you got keyboard warriors, right? So good stuff. All right, Deanna. Go ahead.
I'm so glad you said that because as we talked about before in the past, like you have people constantly complaining about the internet, but that's where the technology and market is pushing it. And I've been thinking for the longest, like, regardless of what people think, that's the direction that we're going to. So it's like, might as well pay attention to where the attention is and get there before everybody else.
So you sound like you've been trained by Antonio T. Smith Jr. That's what you sound like. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, Mark Cuban says the three major trends that's coming about is artificial intelligence, and that's what this all social media is going to morph into, robotics, and then personalized medicine. That's what he sees the big trends coming into the future. Artificial intelligence, I think, is the ultimate result of social media, because that's where they're gathering everything to create this huge database of knowledge to then react, and then robotics, and then personalized medicine.
Yeah, Phil, in the black neighborhood, they say, "Show you right, show you right." We would even put the T at the end. Show you right. Yeah. Now you got no doubt about it. The ATS company is going in two or three of those places. I can tell you for sure the ATS companies are highly invested in artificial intelligence, robotics, and data storage in a major way. So invested in robotics that sometime this year or next year, me and my 11-year-old and 8-year-old, I have already purchased. Anyway, we're learning how to build robots from scratch. I'm using my kids as guinea pigs. They're my first customers. So we're learning that from scratch. Rebuild robots. It's actually part of their homeschooling. Actually, you know what? I may be able to share that with y'all. Maybe y'all can. Maybe you could steal from this too if you got kids. So let me see. All right. Just making sure ain't no passwords on here. So what I'll do is I'll find this here and I'll send it to you. Maybe y'all can do the same thing. Deanna, a couple of things. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Brand. So I guess triple of things. Brand. I've got a private message. The data storage, artificial intelligence, robotics, and I've got my kids learning that with me. So anything they daddy learned, they ain't got no choice but to learn. So they have no choice. I learn Mandarin, they learn Mandarin. I learn Hindi, they learn Hindi. It's just they should have decided before they got here to be born with somebody else. Right? They should have went somewhere else. They should have went somewhere else.
No,
Good
Antonio.
All right, go ahead, Phil.
There's a theory that you choose your incarnation. So they picked you as a president, as a parent.
Yep.
Wayne Dyer's daughter, Serena, was doing something, and Wayne didn't, and she was just frustrated with Wayne, and she said something. Wayne says, "Well, you picked me as your parent," and she stopped and thought, "I must have been in a hurry."
Yeah, so they crazy enough to pick me for sure. I've got some stuff here that I didn't mean to bring up homeschooling, but I just realized I have access to so many different resources I can share with you all. I homeschool my kids in a super major way. Anywho, Deanna, brand. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Now, what does that mean? That means you already did the hero. Let's focus on my one-sheeter. It's already amazing. I want to challenge you to make it more amazing.
Okay.
By the end of the day. Because why would I give you time?
Gotcha.
Yeah. By the end of the day. Why would I give you time? Okay. I just posted a chat out there that I use this. It's all computer programming, but my kids, again, they get access stuff. Now, with the let's see, languages and robotics, your next bundle of courses. I didn't think about that. I never thought about putting that in the business university. Never thought about it. Good job, Carol. Never thought think about the kids. Now, Deanna, I want you to tell me the stuff you got secretly in your head that I don't know about from a branding perspective. I'm interested, extremely interested to hear this.
Ooh. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me switch that part of my brain.
Yes, you should do that. Switch to that part of your brain. Because I want to hear about it. You're the head brander around here.
I want you you already do conquer the crisis just about like every other week, but we need you on even more platforms. I've actually already submitted your name to TED Talk because there's a difference between TEDx and TED Talk. So you have to actually be recommended or nominated for TED Talk. So I've already done that because that would help spread your brand. We need to get you on more platforms to help spread your brand. We need to get you on more podcast interviews, as well as take you. You are an international brand, but we need to stretch that out even more. That's why I'm grateful we have Satish on the team, because his vision for you in India is what I've always seen. I just didn't have the connections at the time to get you in the other countries, but now we do. Definitely with the opportunities that you spoke of earlier, definitely maximize on that.
Grace, you should be writing this down. Grace, support her. Whenever she talk like this, you take over and you write down, because she sends me notes after every meeting. So start over, Deanna.
Okay. First, we need to get you on more platforms. Conquer the Crisis is great, and you do that just about every other weekend, but you need to be on more platforms. There's a difference between TEDx and TED Talk. You actually have to be nominated for TED Talk. So I've already done that, and I actually have it on my agenda to go back and nominate you again. I'm going to put in as many nominations until these people tell me to stop. Because that will help stretch out your brand as well. You need to be on more podcast interviews, and I'm actually in the process of doing that as well. You are global, but we need to saturate you globally, and that's why I'm happy Satish is on the team. And then the opportunity that you briefly mentioned earlier, both of those help, because I personally, at the time, did not have the connections for you in other countries. Now you have them. So we need to maximize on those opportunities. Satish has a wonderful plan for you for India. So I am not even going to touch it. I'm going to let him take that and just run with it, because his plan is absolutely amazing. And he knows his country. He knows his culture. He knows his people. So it is best for him to just have that and run with it, which I have no issues with, because he's absolutely awesome in doing that. Like I said earlier, the opportunity that you briefly mentioned earlier will definitely help you as well spread across countries. While we need to get you on stages in other countries. We need to saturate the world with you, not just online, but in person saturation. You literally need to be on a plane 4 weeks out of a month. I'm sorry, 3 weeks out of a month. There's only 4 weeks in a month. 3 weeks out of the month. Sometimes 5. At the same time, creating a way for you to be able to recoup. So there's I
don't need to recoup. You can leave that part out. Keep going. Okay, Michelle. I don't need to recoup. You're right. I know you don't like it. Keep going.
We also need to. We literally need to physically. We need you on stages now. You have literally saturated the internet. We now need you to saturate the stages.
Yeah, I pulled back my engagements to finish building. So yeah, we can pick it back up. Go ahead, Phil.
Yana, I respectfully disagree. Under the umbrella of saturation, Christianity is a pretty good product, wouldn't you say? It's had what, over 2,000 years? And it only has a third of the market.
That's true. Just third. So
Right.
it's too many people to oversaturate anything anyway. You can't. If y'all worry about oversaturation, don't. Just dominate. Right? Brand is everything. Just keep going. Okay.
So let me rephrase.
Keep going, Deanna.
Let me rephrase. Instead of saturating, we need you to
I ain't worried about
accommodate
it.
more
Just,
stages.
no doubt. Just keep going.
Um,
Just don't expect me to do all that rest stuff. I put rest in my daily schedule anyway, so it's all good.
you need more. You need more conferences outside of ATS. Like you need one specifically for you, what you do, who you are. Like the Antonio T. Smith Jr. himself. You need to be on a stage. And you need to do that at least every quarter. One massive Antonio T. Smith Jr. conference every quarter, just you, and have others, have guests. You need to do a 10x every quarter. You need to do an Antonio T. Smith Jr. 10x conference every quarter.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's probably come through Ricasia in the first place. Now, excellence. You gave me a platform to teach here. The last 2 years, or maybe a year and a half, I told Deanna to curtail a lot of my going outness and stuff for a reason, because I wanted to build this solidly from a solid perspective, but also consider what I have done. Actually, let me just say it this way. Emulation is everything. If you don't know what to do, or if you're looking for something amazing to do, you need to start emulating. It's called the law of emulation. I actually teach it in that recession course. The law of emulation. Emulation. It is important that you get this for a very good reason. Success has markers. And those who consistently are in prosperity consistently are in alignment with the laws of success. There are also laws of poverty, right? The goal is for you to always be in alignment with success. Success has markers. Success has precursors. There is a way to understand who is doing what is happening, and stuff like that. I just put it in the chat for you. The key to achieving wealth is to study and emulate those who have already acquired it before you. What one person has done, others can do as well. If you ask experts for advice, they'll give it to you. You become what you most admire. Now, I want to drop this hammer on y'all real quick. It's a pleasant hammer. It won't even hurt. What you want to do is you want to understand something. If you like what's going on, it doesn't matter. Like in your life, it means you're in harmony. This keyword harmony. Deanna, how many times I hit you in that word with this head?
Every day.
Harmony. I don't know what's wrong with empaths. Empaths just do not like harmony for whatever reason. I just don't get it. Empaths can be so violent. Harmony, okay? Harmony. It means you're in harmony with the laws of success. If you don't like what you like, your life, it means you're not in harmony with the laws of success. So what I did is I looked out and I decided what I wanted to be. And you're probably not going to guess what I wanted to be. In my own way, I decided that I was going to emulate Who do you think I emulated? My character is a lot like Grant Cardone, that's for sure. My heart is a lot like Gary Vee. I didn't emulate either one of them. Joel Osteen.
That was my guess.
There you go. There you go. Joel Osteen. So when I pulled back most of my engagements, because I wanted to become a powerful brand in itself so much that I didn't need nothing else. Joel needs nothing. You get what I'm saying? Joel needs nothing. People ask Joel. I had someone ask me 2 weeks ago to get Joel to come on something. Literally happened. And I politely declined. And I got one of Joel's people to go on it. So I declined because I understand. Joel needs nothing. Now, at this point, so that's what I did. So it was by design. Now, Deanna, since I don't need nothing and I stand alone tall myself, then you can go out and do that stuff now you just said. You understand? What I did not want to be was someone's mentee. You understand? Now, I'm not saying don't get mentors. I got a mentor in pretty much every major area of my life. There's nothing wrong with mentors. But you wasn't going to introduce me as Les Brown certified. Do you understand? That's not what happened. He got his, I got mine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I need you to get that. I need to put it out there in this rawness. I am most certainly, and every chance I get, I just did an interview. Interview came out yesterday. Every chance I get, I gave Les Brown mad props. I said he was one of the most influential leaders in my life, literally on the podcast. But you, at this point, you got to guess that. I have to bring that out. What I'm not doing, right, is making sure that someone else brand is on mine. Y'all should probably take advice from that, depending on how long you're trying to go. Chris just said in the chat, long-term thinking brand-wise. I'm my own brand. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I wanted to make sure in the last 2 years I established that. That's what I wanted to do. So good stuff. All right, so we'll get ready to land this plane. Did you copy and paste everything she put in chat down?
Yes, she said.
All right, copy and paste that. Make that happen. I want to do a review. I know you're booked up solid until 4 o'clock. So if y'all don't hear from Deanna, she's booked up solid until at least 4 o'clock. Man, look, everything good in me come from the streets. Liddell said that's how the streets work. Everything.
Got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Carol.
So, Antonio, you guys are growing like super fast, and you're gonna, all worldwide, and you're in India, and hopefully around all the other countries, big Latin American countries, and all. Who is going to step in to help, just like Deanna, how she's built into COO and expected to do so much, and then with the expansion, is she going to also, or are you guys going to be training someone else to be another Deanna in the other countries?
Absolutely, yes. That's a fantastic question. So that actually gives me an opportunity to talk about Satisha for a second. So got a couple of answers there. The answer is yes, but the answer is I'm already doing it right now. When it comes to people like Phil and Susan, you know, they're heading the whole. I don't even talk in the Bureau of Dominant Speakers at this point, right? They're handling that very well. I'm all about succession. One of the greatest things y'all can do, and thank you, Carol, for asking this question, because it gives me the opportunity to say this one statement here, is depending on how far you want your brand to go, it's up to you. None of this is wrong. But if you are your brand so much, when you die, it's over. Okay? But if you are your brand so much that your brand has spent off this great business system that has succession in it, when you die, it keeps going. Jeff Bezos is not the brand. Amazon is. Get it? All right, so good stuff there. I just want to say that. Now, so this is a perfect example to bring up Satish. Satish, I'll meet you, Mike Satish. I know you got noise in the background. It's all good. It's like 6 p.m. over there or something, 7:30, 8:30. Everybody wide awake. It's all good. Now, Satish has 50 million gazillion ideas, Carol. And what Satish did, I got this person. Yep, this. And one conversation Satish had with me, he had this, I said, Satish, I said, you are that person. I don't know those people. I don't trust those people. Okay? Then I said that, Satish? You finna talk in a second. The Carol, you finna love this, Carol. And then I said, for one, I ain't giving them nothing. I said this. I did. I said, and if they need to get given something to come follow you, they ain't the right people in the first place. That's what I said, because I'm protecting you. And the second thing I said is, you've been here 2 years. You know my culture. You understand. Now, what we need to do is duplicate that. So we typically pick from within or pick from without and force people through the culture before we elevate them. Pam Norris is a fantastic example of that. Before I invested in Pam Norris' company, she had to come through here for a while first. A very fantastic example of that. So, Tish, when it comes to the question, a beautiful question Carol asked about, how we promote and getting other help, besides the fact that I'm getting Deanna an assistant, let's end with you explaining what you've seen so far, and then try to give us enough teachable information for them to be able to build expansion too, because Carol just hit shit in on the head. We're growing. We grow in popularity by ×2 almost each day. It's insane. It's insane. So how have you seen me work out the, promotions within or help within, and how have I handled you and the help as well? You'll be a perfect person to answer that.
Yes, sir. So it was not easy for me to understand how ATS family at the core is working. It is so complex, and I felt it has to be supported so much, because as one person, Diana, or one person, Grace, one person, Antonio, how they are managing everything, it's tremendous. And I told Antonio, I will go back and build one team, big team, to handle everything, to replicate. It is not possible to replicate what Diana is doing just by one person. So,
and tell her what I told you about that team. I put great restrictions on that team. I said they got to go through you, and they got to answer to you or me. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Yeah. No. So he said, I will not interfere what you build in India, but one thing I want to be sure that you build them right? And I just understood how Antonio has built his company, and I am also trying to replicate the similar thing back in India. And Antonio, I have to admit, it is not an easy job. Copying is not an easy job. So I've been talking to Diana almost every day. I talk to Antonio every day. It's not easy job.
There you go. So thank you, Satish. So yes, Carol, we're definitely working on that. I typically hire extremely slow and fire extremely fast. That I do well. Because my number one concern is character. It's character, then culture, and then execution. Now, of course, that leaves holes. Any leadership style would leave holes, but I prefer to deal with someone's abundance of mistakes if they got good character, than deal with someone's, abundance of good execution and have bad character. Some people just cost too damn much. Real talk. Some people just cost way too much. And by that, I mean Their very presence makes feel uncomfortable. And now Phil can't give me his greatness because this person is muting everything Phil said. I literally had something similar to that happen, and I got rid of that person. Some people just cost too much. And past my salary, they just cost too much. They cost us too much money, their character, their presence. Go ahead, Phil, then Carol.
Yeah, the great book on hiring people is called Top Grading by Bradford Smart.
Never heard that book before. Repeat it for me, Phil, so I had Deanna write it down. I'm going to check it out.
Top Grading, TOPGRADING by Bradford Smart.
Good stuff.
Best
Good
book
stuff.
on the
I like
market
that.
for hiring people.
I like that a lot. Good. Be time for me to read that. Go ahead, Carol.
So my next question is, after like the total training and getting people up and going and making them their best of who they are through you guys, and then promoting it, what about like a secondary thing going on after that to make sure that languages come into place, since you're already training on languages, so that they can also reach out to all the other platforms and things to that nature too? Is that a sequel or anything you're thinking about?
I barely thought about it for now. Satish has thought about it much more than me, because India, I know we're focused on Hindi, Telugu, and it sounds like Canada. Is it Kannada? Give it to me, Satish.
Yeah, it's Kannada. So back in India, we are
sounds like
working
Canada
on,
every time you say it.
yes. So we are working on 5 different languages to start with, and we are planning to cover most of the Indian languages. And also, while this is being done, we are also working on German language.
Yeah. And of course, and I've already this is Carrie asked some fantastic questions. So I barely thought about it until expansion, right? And then of course, Satish has been dreaming about this his whole life. So that's why he's thought about it more, right? He's always thought about this his whole life. So I've run into a newer problem. My newest problem is most of the world is in 3G. And I cannot explain to you how many people follow me that have 3G connections and they don't have unlimited data. And this has become my new problem. For instance, there's a guy named Richard, I think it's Kilungwe or Kilungwe. I got to see his name. I'll pronounce it if I see it. I know something like that. He is an extreme fan. He talks to me almost every day, and now he wants to work in a company. Now, since I've talked to him for quite some time, I know his character is impeccable. He's purchased into the program as well, and plus he's got the free stuff. He sits in a corner of his hut, so to speak. I don't mean that disrespectfully, with a sheet in the background and reads my books. It's incredible. I can't stress to you enough just how life-changing this is just to witness this here. My problem now is I can't interview him. This is a major problem I'm having right now. Because even though everybody gets an interview, don't get it twisted. Everybody gets grilled by me. It just is what it is. Buddha and Jesus can come and be like, all right, wait a minute, let's talk a little bit, right? You know, I don't know. I don't know if they changed or something. You understand? I need to know. And I can't, because Zoom will take too much data. WhatsApp won't be reliable because it doesn't have enough data. But he is the right person for this vehicle and for me to build in his country. So I'm having an issue of what's the lowest way possible, what's the lowest amount of data usage possible to interview or to connect with someone on a face-to-face basis. Because while Zoom works, it works for Steve. He's on Wi-Fi or something. He's got 4G, you understand, and 5G. There are fantastic character people in 3G areas in which my current systems don't work. I'll give you another example. The Dell got a guy in Nigeria, I believe, that is ready. And I cannot figure out how to change everything to a small enough data for him to go through the learning process to get it. So while I sit here and I tell you, Carol, the first thing I'm doing is making people character get straight, and then they get adopted to the culture. Once I get to culture, when I'm going to 3G areas, my current methods of culture inclimating take data that we take for granted. We just absolutely take it for granted. The amount of data that we've used in this call would destroy someone for almost 2 months. So that's my new problem so I've let Satish been thinking about the languages. That's why I told you barely. I've been letting Satish think about the languages over there because I've been thinking about the distribution more than languages. That's been my struggle. And now I fully understand why Mark Zuckerberg is launching his own satellites in 3G areas, because he wants people to connect to his social media with his satellites. I completely get it. I totally get it now. I know it's got some bad flack in the news, but I get it. I wish I had a satellite I could throw up there and say, hey, dog, launch our ATS. It is that serious. So those are my new problems that I face as a CEO today. Now, the cool thing is I come out of a trash can. So to have these problems is a big deal. These are big deal problems. I welcome these problems every day of the week. I come out of trash cans. I'm cool with this all day, every day. So it's not a complaint, but your questions are so, I could tell you got a strong background in HR because your questions are so empathetically HR related that they are new issues for the ATS company. I tell you straight up, in full transparency, we have thought about every last one of your questions, and I would give us a D- in every last one of those areas as of right now. Some, even in languages, I would give an F, but as a total overall, I would give us a D- because we just haven't ventured here before. This is, I don't have find me someone that wants to be a black 100 billionaire. Please find that for me, because I would love to study from that person. I have no roadmap. I am literally trailblazing here, right? I can't use any examples whatsoever. I've absolutely looked. The mentors that I use over the internet don't look like me, so they don't have the same problems as I have. They started their companies with $15 million first round investments and stuff. I started my company with grace, getting $100 donations from church members. So this is because I have no model. So soon someone will be modeling me. But right now, Deanna, do me a favor. I want you to set up a call with Carol. Carol, I want you to get on the phone with me and Deanna, and I want you to ask more questions like that, because you're going to help me think in areas I'm currently not thinking or areas I got a D- in. I would love for you to do that if you don't mind. Because we are running into new problems. Our problems, success will reveal your failures. And the more successful we are, the more I find out failures in different areas. And that's just the honest to God truth. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm glad you brought that up because for the longest I've been thinking about, like, of course we have people that we follow, watch, and try to learn from and much more. But the more, and I'm just so glad you, because I guess, the energy was right. For the longest I was thinking that you can learn from so many others for so much, but your unique journey is your journey. I mean, the way and path, the way that you go is not going to be the same for this person or her because they may have kids. This person may not have kids. This person came out of prison and things like that. So I think what it really boils down to is, like, of course, learn from others, but stay focused on your own journey at the same time. And I've been battling back and forth with that because, especially the younger you just soak up everything and learn. But the older you get, you got to define and find your own pathway.
Yes, if y'all got to check out, you're more than welcome to. I know we're over time, but I'm just following the energy of the universe right now. I'm trying to help you as much as I can. I have different problems, y'all. I have just to Chris's point. So I relate more to Gary Vee because Russian immigrant, right? So that's kind of extreme poverty. That's extreme poverty. But then it's only to a point because I separate from Gary Vee in two main areas that I have no choice but to separate. I didn't have my dad's business. I'm not saying Gary Vee didn't grow that. You know what I'm saying? 3 million to whatever it was now. But I didn't have anything. I had to start from scratch. And then Gary Vee is accepted in more rooms than me. And please understand this. You have to understand what I'm getting ready to say. It's why I'm so educated, because when you first see me, you see a young black man. That's automatically a downfall for me. It's automatic. What separates me is my ability to communicate. Once I begin to communicate, then I can get some privilege from my communication. But I don't start with that privilege. Gary Vee will automatically start with that privilege, Russian or not. So I have different battles that I have to face. I have to consistently build this company in a manner in which I can't be bought out. I have to. And I also have to take in the fact that the better technology gets is the more the technology puts my community out of business. It's why I structured my deal with Cybersoft to where I own everything. Because the very technology that I'll use is the very technology that would take away my grandmother's job. When people lose jobs first, it's people who look like me. I don't mean to ruffle anyone's feathers, but it's just a reality that we face. Unemployment has nothing to do with black unemployment. Our unemployment rates have hovered at 25 to 34% for the last 3 decades. So I have to build in a manner that consistently puts me in control without me being controlling. And that's a very, very, very hard line to walk. I'm exhausted every day trying to walk it. Every day I'm exhausted. And I know it works because I got more white people following me than black people. I'm like the Dave Chappelle of business. You know, so I know it works. I know what I'm doing is working, but I still have to build differently than most people. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm not white. I'm beige.
Well, good looking beige too. Right? You know, it's just one of those things. So I have one of those. I have no model. So I preach to you emulation. I can't. I can only emulate so far. So I love Carol's questions because I don't have an example. I don't have an algorithm that lets me hire in different languages. So when I go into, for instance, I'm going into China, but historically, China is not too favorable to people who look like me. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just so now I'm battling the American problem all over again. It's crazy. I do it internationally all over again. It's India, tad bit easier when it comes to race relations, but it's far more difficult when India has a different problem that I battle. Okay, sure will, Phil. My battle with India is classism. Now, the good thing is I don't face it because I'm rich. But if you're not an engineer, whether it be software or chemical or something like that, Satish, I think you'll be perfect here. Tell us if you're not an engineer, if I have a degree in music, what do I look like in India?
Just like a rock star, law.
Right. What about arts? If I'm like a school teacher, what is that in India?
Oh, it is difficult. Only at the highly matured zones of India, you have more respect, but otherwise, it's difficult.
So I'm dealing with that. I'm trying to get customers who are, it's hard to get both customers. It's hard to get the customers who are respected, but the ones who are respected, Steve, that's not really my target audience. Now, while we're building around IT, that's not my target audience. It's not. It works well. I do well with them because these are rich people trying to get richer. I do that very well. That's too easy. I do that in my sleep. What I'm looking for is a bunch of Satishas that came from a small town that had to fight their way through. So these are just different problems that I face, and it would be far easier if didn't look like me. So what we've done in India, well, Satish, tell them how I marketed in India. I am not marketing in India as a businessman. That's why I got Satish. Go ahead and tell them. This is the battles I face. Go ahead, man.
Yes. So it is, Antonio is not coming into India as a businessman. Instead, he is first showing up his greatness. So we are setting up free education schools in India first. And we are helping people who have not got a job or who think they are not capable enough to get a job. We train them, we motivate them, we enable them to get a job first. And then we also enable them to get into their own income channel or have their own business, right? And I remember Antonio saying, it is not helping this generation, but we are helping the generation 10 years down the line. So present students will be the next generation, right? So that's what we are doing. We are concentrating on his greatness, not the business.
So basically in India, I have to market myself as a millionaire philanthropist. And Satish is that business person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, Liddell, appreciate you, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead, Satish, then Chris, and then we get out of here.
Now, that philanthropist word I missed out. Thank you.
Oh, well. Okay, yeah. Chris, go ahead, brother. You got the last words.
All right, so I have a feeling this is going to be a heavy-weighted question that's probably going to be able to say for later.
It's all good.
Understandable. But I think the big question is, especially for small business owners, what do you do when the people who don't look like you are slow to support you when that's all you have? Especially for the beginning entrepreneurs, because they want to grow and much more. But I feel, and I talked to a lot of different people, and this is the same constant problem I see and hearing a lot from them.
Give that to me one more time, but this time give it to me without the coded language and tell me the actual problem so I can catch you.
They're having a hard time getting people or other African Americans who look like them as well, support them. They rather go to some other business than them.
So okay, so you're saying as a black person, how do you handle not black people not supporting you? Is that what you're asking?
Basically, because that's a common challenge. Yeah,
I got you. You don't do that. Don't just take it out. In this case, take your heart out of your community for a second and just realize it's customers. And you don't try to. Everybody listen to me. I'm more glad you asked this question than what Kara asked me this question. If they're not your customer, you're not going to activate them into being your customer. You're going to spend too much money doing that. You need to free yourself from that, brother. Yeah, you need to free yourself from that. If they're not Simone's customer, they're never going to be Simone's customer. So some people just don't like Simone. They just don't. I don't know, but I bet you that they don't like her. And you're not going to convince people to like you. And if you do, you know how much energy and money you would have spent to do that? And you would have missed all the other people who wanted to bless your life and like you over there. They would like you the same way they like me, Chris. Now, excuse me, it's just me and Chris in the room. So I'm about to say something black to Chris. It's just me and him in the room. Y'all not here, okay? Chris, when white folk raise your hand and say he's a winner, that's when they'll like you. That's what happened to me. The real as I can get to you, okay? Reggie, go ahead. I said last one to him, but I know you got some sort of fire because I know right when you put your hand.
Yeah. The fire in the stomach was burning with that question. I can give you a little how you approach that. You probably already know it, but knowing and practicing is two different things. That's just like listening and hearing. Those are two different things. So I do music, and I know going into that field, when I step on the stage or I do anything of that, I already know somebody's not going to agree with me or what I'm supposed to say or what story I'm supposed to tell. I'm going to concentrate on the one that the one that is actually listening to me, and that's the one that I'll be talking to. Therefore, I don't worry about everything else around, because you're going to reach one. And all you need to do is reach that one just as well as you can. With whatever you have, they're going to receive it and they're going to spread it for you. But just, that's how you cancel out. It's like a brain dump.
Appreciate it.
Just knowing that, go into it knowing that. When you go into knowing that, can't nothing else stop you. You get what I'm saying? Because it hurt. What it is pain. It hurt. So if you go in there knowing that you don't get hurt already, you won't get hurt.
That's true. And the last thing I'll say, thank you, Reggie. Last thing, your beard looks amazing, by the way. In fact, hold on, Phil, I'm actually going to talk about you for a second. So that's fantastic. Yeah. I want you to know some of this is your programming, Chris, because Phil has this problem. I swear to God, I was just going to say this. Phil has this problem. There's white folk and Italian folk that don't mess with Phil. The only reason that it is so passionate for you is because we've got billions of dollars of movies and propaganda convincing us that it only happens in the black community. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Indians don't support Indians. You get it? Polish don't support Polish. And it just happens. It's just for people like me and you. We've got propaganda that's like black on black crime, as if that's really a thing. When crime happens on same race all the time, because that's who you interact with, right? So try to get that programming out your head too. They're just customers and they're not yours. Okay?
Got it.
All right, go ahead, Phil.
25% of the people out there don't like you and never will. Now, for some of us, that's good news. Really, only 25%? They don't like themselves. And 25% of them are going to like you no matter what, because they believe we're all one. So really, you can only influence 50%. That's the ones that you can sway one way or another. And when I give my speech, I have a whole person. I say, guess what? I know who the 25% who don't like me, and I know who they are, and I look them right in the eye, and I tell them, I got my material from somebody else, so concentrate on the message, not the messenger. So I even give them permission not to like me, and then say that you can still get something out of it even though you don't like me.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for going over with us. Oh, go ahead, Susan. No, go ahead, Susan.
Well, it makes me think of something, the way I was grew up and the sensitivities I felt towards people. And then when I went to college, the interaction that I had and great time with all kinds of people, I guess I instilled that into our children. I mean, by the time they were 3, they were going to an international school. And they learned all different languages. They were with all groups of kids from the time they were 3. I even put the youngest in a preschool that was for kids first with disabilities. And then they took kids without disabilities. So I did all that. We did all that really, really early. And so I guess that's why our daughter now, of all places, in the place that needs it the most, she's Dr. Sorrentino of Race and Gender Studies at the University of Alabama. And she lectures all over the country, and she was supposed to be in Ghana, but because of this pandemic lecturing, she couldn't be. So it has to do a lot with going back through the generations that instills, your thought processes and how you think people react to you, when maybe that's not even the way they are. It could be that they are, but may not be.
That's true too. I'm with that. Well, first off, fantastic job for you and Phil having a doctor of race relations in your lineage. That's a big deal in itself when you think about it, just as who begat who. That's an extremely big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, I let the conversation go because it felt like the power of the universe was on that. All I can tell you is for sure that you're going to win regardless. If you decide to win, I don't even mean to be philosophical with that. You just can't stop Steve when Steve decides he's not going to lose. It's just impossible. It's impossible. A man who makes a decision is a powerful man, all right? A woman who makes a decision is a powerful woman. It's just what it is. You have the whole universe at your side. What I can tell you in closing is I love Carol's question. I love all your questions, especially Carol's, because I face different issues now. I don't face the issues I used to face. What is that saying? Different level, different devils, right? I have different devils. I have people's livelihoods and children. If I fail, people's children go hungry. That's where I'm at now. Where I'm at now is kids looking up to their dad because their dad's been a dreamer, and finally this is the opportunity for the dream to work across, and that dad needs to come through for those children. And I got that pressure every single day. I'm telling you. Grace sent me a private message yesterday because one of our team members is hurting. One of our team members' mom is hurting, I should say. So she's hurting. And the first thing Grace said in that private message was, she calls me R-E-B, Reb. She said, "Hey, Reb, I know when one of us is hurting, you're hurting. So is there anything I can do for you?" And I told him, it's all good. And nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? But there's different levels to this stuff. I don't have it better. I don't have it worse. I just got deeper problems because there are at least, to my short count, 86 people whose sole income depend directly on me. And I'll show you this one last thing because I want this to pierce you in your heart. And I want more than anything for you to build your company in a manner that you can do what I'm doing. There is this, I don't know how to, well, I guess I'll just show this stuff. Right now, this is my little guy in Bangladesh. Satish, I told you about him. Right now, this is his sister. I wish I could blow this up. This is his sister. This is where they live. Look here. The outside of the house is on the inside of the house. Look, that's outside. That's outside. Look at the walls. You can see how big the house is. You can see how big the house is from looking there. This guy's been working for me for 2 years. I frequently just find jobs for him to do just so I can send money his way. These are the problems I have now. You understand? I find jobs where he's good at a few things. He's a little version of Deano. And I use him in that way. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out, no doubt, I'm trying to figure out how can I send him $100 a day, or something, just work, just something, but it all has to make sense. How can I take care of, Phil Susan? How can I take care of Reggie? How can I do all this stuff? So when you build these companies, please know, it's not your dreams that you're chasing no more. It's someone else's. And he's extremely respectable, and he needs money, obviously. Apparently, I'm born to have this problem or have this blessing. Is the way I look at it. So I don't mean to say problem. I have this blessing. I can make a difference to this one Bangladesh person. If I do this right, I can make him one of the richest people in Bangladesh. Because I already told Satish, verify this for me, Satish, that when we get, I'll meet your mic, because I had a long conversation with Satish about this guy. And I said, I need to take this guy with, because I understand the India-Bangladesh relationships. It's like America, Mexico. And right, Satish, I had a conversation with you about him. And
Yes,
do you remember what I told you about him?
Yes, sir. And I've been in touch with him also.
You have?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. All right then. So did you tell him that you with me?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. All right, that makes me feel a lot better. So when we do a lot of stuff in India, I'm gonna find a way. Or Satish is helping me find a way to take him with us. So anyway, that's just what it is. Simone, your company is going to help people. That's what you started it for. Sometimes it breaks your heart, Steve. Right? Go ahead, Simone. Go ahead.
Yes, because I've had a vision for the longest while. It's been very hard, but I keep trying no matter what. And the greatest inspiration were my children. And just like you said, emulation, I look towards my grandfather, who I never knew, because that's the type of person he was, because he died before I was born. But he did a lot for my country, Jamaica, which I'm originally from. I live here in the United States now. But he was well known for what he did. So that's my inspiration, because at heart, I'm a giver. And even when I don't have it, that's how I grew my children, and people know who they are. So I really wanted to do something that would not just benefit me, but I wanted to leave a legacy, not only for my children, but also that I could help other people. And I realized that my gift was creativity, so I had to use the gift that was given to me. No matter what, I held on to that, and I strove. I still try, fall down, get up back, because you're the only person who can pick you up. Nobody else can do it but you. So that's what I do. And my children see that. And that was very important for me, for my children to see me fighting and go for what, no matter what anybody does, you hurt, you cry, but you get up. So, yeah, sorry, I diverted. Sorry.
No, I'm glad. I've got enough awareness. Go ahead. You say go on.
No, yeah, I just wanted to do this, because I do have a vision. Yeah, I want to help people.
And you're going to. You're definitely going to. And I believe you submitted your name for the thing, right? Okay, yeah, Deanna told me that. Good. So you're in.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. I'm pretty sure that this call went 41 minutes over for the last thing that we talked about. Okay. That's, you got to be in harmony with what God is doing or what the universe is doing. At least one person here needed to hear that you're building your business for people who's outside of their house is also on the inside of their house. That's why we do this. And if you forgot that, it's okay. You just got a friendly reminder that you were crazy enough to decide to want to change the world. That's why you're here, Steve. That's why you're here. So now we can all disconnect in the next 60 seconds knowing that we are going to not quit. We're going to learn sales funnels and all this mundane stuff that we don't care nothing about so we can go do the things we care about. We're not going to care about the $26,000 of credit card debt that we have because we're going to learn so we can eradicate that debt for ourselves and others. That's what this is about. That's what we're willing to die for. Every last one of you started your businesses to change the world. That's why you're black sheep of your families, because you don't think like the tribe. You think like, I want to change the world. So as we disconnect, do not forget the fact that we came here to change the world. That's what we're going to do. In our own little ways, we'll go with the flow and we'll change the world. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate. Thank you, everybody. Go ahead, Carol. Love you more, Phil.
No, it's just, you're absolutely right. And it's like heartfelt. I can't talk.
Amen. Then this call was perfect. All right, everybody. Set up that call with Carol. Thank you, Carol. You gave me goosebumps. All right, everybody. We'll see you later.
I'm not sure if you already know this, but you're already absolutely perfect. You're already absolutely great. And you're already living in massive abundance. The most important things that you have is not what you have. It's not what you do. It's what you know. Because the people who do know what you need to know to lead the middle class, they're in the top 1%, and they control 96% of the world's income. 97% of this world is trading time for money, and that is not the way to become rich, it's not the way to become wealthy, and it is absolutely not the way to leave the middle class. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and they all want to learn how to make money and how to leave the middle class. But the way to become a master at anything is to learn all the rules and then bend them to your favor. Right now in this world, there are 2,057 billionaires. Right now. So if you think becoming a billionaire is impossible, that's 2,057 people that have already proved that impossibility incorrect. And if you think that's crazy, there are 46.8 million millionaires in the world, worldwide right now. Now think about that. 46.8 million millionaires, and that number grows 1,730 millionaires every single day. Money is everywhere. You don't need to max out your credit cards. You don't need to borrow from granddad and grandma. Just look behind me. Look at all the wealth sitting behind me in this junkyard. It's insane how much money is everywhere, and you don't need to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to get it. You just need to know the rules of making money and how to leave the middle class. Essentially, all you need to know is the algorithm of making money, the rules of making money. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it, and you can leave the middle class. Any industry, yoga, golf, underwater basket weaving, clipping fingernails, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is know how to do it, how to get it done, and then find somebody to teach you how to do it, how to get it done, and you will be able to leave the middle class. If you're not getting my point, it's real simple. Whatever you have up here, as long as you understand the rules of leaving the middle class, as long as you understand how to get money, you can take what's up here and get wealthy from what you already have. Right now, the very thing you know up here is already being searched 1,000 times a second on Google. Someone right now, actually 1,730 people right now are going to become a millionaire from the stuff that you have in your head. Why can't this be you? I mean, it's 1,730 people with your ideas that are no better than you, that are going to leave the middle class, become a millionaire. Why are you not next? So how do we do this? How do we take what you know and apply it to objective money-making secrets and then allow you to leave the middle class? How do we take you from where you are and let you escape to where you want to go? So how do we make all this money or take all this knowledge from the Warren Buffetts, from the Elon Musk? How do we take everything that everyone before you has done, and how do we take all of that and then put it in your head so you can leave a legacy for your family? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. 32 years ago, I lived in a trash can. That's right, from 6 to 14, I had no running water, no electricity, no anything, and somehow I'm in the top 1% today. Not because I had the right background, not because I had a silver spoon in my mouth, simply because being homeless made me learn how to make money. I retired when I was 29 years old. I'm more than likely younger than you. I'm one of the top 1% income earners in one of the richest countries in the world. What I learned how to do when I was 6 years old was learn how to generate enough money to eat some cookies so I wouldn't die to death from starvation. From there, I learned how to go from cookies to a meal. From a meal to clothes to shelter to everything else that supplied my necessary needs. When I was 6, I was forced to learn how to make money, and now that's what I'm going to do and help you do. I've seen amazing results. I have my own economy, I've homeschooled my own children, and I wrote a book that teaches you every single thing that I know about making money, every single thing that other people know about making money, and most importantly, all the stuff that we don't tell you. Because the truth is, and you know it like I know it, the most honest, the most hardworking, unselfish people on planet Earth live in the middle class. Yet, your honesty, your unselfishness, your devout religion-going self is not enough to get to the top 1%, and that's not fair. The second half of my life has been not about how much money I make, but how I will be remembered from all the money that I have made. And I've been trying to teach everybody how to get out the middle class. I'm the crazy guy famous on the internet for trying to create 100,000 millionaires. I've created 8 so far. I got a 9th one on the way, all the way from India. That's pretty cool. And what I want to tell you is something very simple. It's been hard. It's been absolutely hard to help people leave the middle class, not because of the people, because the system would rather keep you being someone else's money instead of you having your own economy and having the money come find and flow to you. It was frustrating because I knew that anybody can make money. And if you knew what I knew, you would change your life. Over the last few years, I've built a large following of over 500,000 people every month that pay me for me to give them advice. Well, that's been exciting for me. And the cool thing is I've created thousands of six-figure earners. I've created millionaires. I've created people who can live their dreams and hold on to their legacies. And now my eyes are on you to create you to what you need to be great. I have been teaching my principles and these principles to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, every country, all continents, and anyone who has taken them seriously, written them down, and applied them have a 100% success rate of leaving the middle class. I've taught these secrets to my following, my inner network, and I've watched them go from 4 figures to 5 figures, 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, all the way to 8. Everything that I've ever learned from millionaire mentors, billionaire mentors, and everything I learned from being homeless, and everything that got me into the top 1%, I have placed inside of a book. To date, it is the longest book that I've ever written, the most best book that I've ever written, and that book is called The Richest Man in the Trash Can, and I'm offering it to you today for free. This book is going to show you how to become wealthy into the top 1% and leave the middle class. This book is going to give you a step-by-step plan if you're 30 years old, all the way to 70 years old, how to get into the top 1%. If you're a teenager, how to get to the top 1%. If you're a millennial, how to get to the top 1%. It's going to teach you how to make 6 figures immediately, teach you how to get to $1 million immediately, and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm going to give you the 36 objective laws of leaving the middle class. Plus, I'm going to give you every last one of my secrets that have made me rich. You have to understand that leaving the middle class is the most important fight that you're going to have in your life. And to be honest with you, and you can kind of relate to this, it almost takes $450,000 a year just to be broke in America. that's just in America. If you don't leave the middle class, which is actually an illusion, then you are going to have a really hard time. Think about it for a second. Most of you going to be watching this are going to be baby boomers, and you've been sold a bad check. They lied to you. Your retirement was not enough for you to live comfortable, and I'm going to give you this book for free so you can figure out how to triple your retirement and then quadruple your retirement, and then as Grant Cardone would say, 10x your retirement so you can live the life that's worthy of you. I want you to remember that leaving the middle class is the most important battle that you could ever face in your entire life, especially for your family. So consider this video, this book, your friendly tap on the shoulder. I want to send you a free copy of this book because I believe that abundance is your birthright. I believe that abundance is freedom, and I believe that this book is right for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I will send you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. I'll eat the cost. I'll take the loss. And all you have to do is get the book and dominate your reality right now and apply the principles so you can be the best person for your life that is yours. Fill out the form sitting right there to the right. Go ahead, dominate your reality. I can't wait to send you my book. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you as someone that's been on the journey with me. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate.
Our next guest is the CEO of a Facebook competitor. It is called MeWe. It is a next-gen social platform with a focus on privacy. The company has surpassed 5.5 million members. CEO Mark Weinstein with us now in a Fox Business exclusive. Welcome to the program, Mark. Glad to have you with us. So why the focus on privacy or taking advantage of Facebook's public stumbles?
Well, Deirdre, I'm one of the guys who invented social networks, and social networks were never invented to be what we call now surveillance capitalism, which is what Facebook is. Their members are not customers to serve. They're data to sell and data to target. So it really, MeWe is a fully fledged social network with all the features people love. The privacy is our Privacy Bill of Rights. We don't sell your data. We don't target you. We don't mess up your news feeds. We have a freemium business model, so everything you love is free, and you can, traditional capitalism, great capitalism. You can spend money on in-app purchases, or you can just enjoy the free service. There's nothing, you can't be targeted for your vote or your opinion. It's social media the way it was meant to be.
So then, Mark, honestly, how do you make money? Because we all know when we use Facebook, it's free for the user, but we know because we are not paying that we become the product. So that Facebook is gathering data on us, and I think some people even say Facebook isn't a social company, it's a data company. But then how do you make money? Are people paying your company for subscriptions?
No, it's very important. MeWe is free forever. But now we know that the freemium model works, and we're doing great with revenue. We have 2,800 free emojis, but we've got great custom emojis, custom stickers.
So
live
people
voice
pay
and live
you
video
for those?
is a pay option. Right, and live voice, live video, secret encrypted chat. MeWe pages are $1.99 a month, but you reach 100% of your followers all the time. So for $24 a month, you don't have to boost anything. So if you have 500,000 followers or 5,000 followers or 10 million followers, you reach everybody. At Facebook, you reach 5%. And you got to pay to boost, and then their algorithm messes the whole thing up anyhow. So MeWe is really true, pure social media. It's social networking done right, and people love it. We're growing organically with no ads, and we're not even marketing MeWe, and we're growing by tens of thousands of people every day.
So, Mark, we have some stats about your company. As you're speaking, 5.5 million users right now, which is impressive. But how are you going to keep growing that? Because one telephone is not so fun. 2 telephones work. Basically, you need more people to sign up.
Well, people are signing up, Deirdre, every day. And here's the beautiful thing about MeWe. So we also have some major deals that are not announced with some huge influencers worldwide. But even without them, we grew 405% last year. We're targeting, we actually target we'll have over 30 million members by the end of this year, over 150 million by the end of next year. We're growing twice as fast already this year. And people also move in groups. This is really, we have never seen something like this. So constituencies agencies move to people. So many people are censored or blocked or violated on Facebook, and they all move to MeWe. So the growth is fantastic.
Quick question, Mark. You say Facebook, as an aside, should not be broken up. Why is that?
Listen, we compete with Facebook great. Snap competes with Facebook. Twitter competes with Facebook. Breaking up Facebook doesn't solve the problem that they are a surveillance company transacting data. By the way, also transacting data from non-members. They track all of us. Remember, the Cambridge Analytica CEO said they had data on 230 million every adult in America. Now, Facebook's new rules that you talked about today, that's a bunch of BS. Facebook has had rules the whole time. They break their rules all the time. That's the problem. Rules at Facebook mean nothing.
Mark, we thank you very much for the time. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the growth.
Thank you, Deirdre.